Beautiful night in South Florida as we get set for the Rangers and Florida Panthers. Closed captioning tonight is brought to you by the New York Lottery. Hey, you never know. Our Audi goaltending matchup features Henrik Lundqvist. He was pulled after 2 periods in the game in Tampa, gave up 4 goals. Certainly not pleased with his performance and looking to play a lot better tonight.
Right, for sure. The first one was one that he knows he should have stopped. Meanwhile, there's Tim Thomas. Boy, he's been a workhorse. He said he needed to prove himself. He could play in back-to-back games. He's 39 years of age, and he's been a big reason, as you mentioned earlier, Sam. Their goals against in the last 9 games is under 2 a game.
Great game against Philadelphia Monday night, a 3-1 win for the Panthers here. He gave up the goal in the 3rd period. Underway with Stepan, Zuccarello, and Kreider for the Rangers. Stralman and Stahl on defense. Bad Boys able to chip it out of the zone. Zuccarello stops it there. Rangers without Derek Dorsett. He has a wrist problem. Skated in pregame warmups. He cannot go. Back in the lineup, Taylor Pyatt after missing 8 games after suffering a concussion.
Derek Dorsett got hit against Tampa Bay in the corner, lost his stick, went to the bench in pain, but played the remainder of the game.
And another change in the lineup. Michael Del Zotto is a healthy scratch. Justin Falk is in the lineup on defense. Long shot glove by Lundqvist, and he holds it.
Now Alain Vigneault is trying to get more scoring, where that man right there, Peter Horacek, he's happy with the way his team is playing. Now, when he took over, he's hardly had any practice time. He had a little bit once they got home from a long road trip, and he said today, when I asked him, I said, what's the one thing you're trying to concentrate on when you do get practice time? He said, the pace of our game. He wants his team skating, going north-south, and that's the way they're playing. They've been a much better team.
When we spoke with him this morning at the Panthers skate, he says, I want more attack. Go to the net. He wants his guys attacking the net. That was the theme that he had this morning.
Well, the other thing, Sam, that they've gotten away from, bad turnovers. They've been a much better team in that department. And this is just not the team that they were earlier. You know, the young kids are playing better. And
when we talked to Brian Campbell, the veteran defenseman that we featured at the top of the show, he said he really likes Peter Horacek. Very organized, very stable. Things have really settled down. Battle behind the net. That was Hagelin and Goodbranson on defense. Also on defense here is number 4, Dylan Olsen. It's his 2nd game as a Florida Panther. He was acquired from Chicago in a big trade. The big kid. And Chicago drafted him in the 1st round in 2009.
Yeah. They
got him in the deal for Chris Versteeg, and another big kid, Jimmy Hayes, came in that deal. We'll see him later. He's 4th line player. In deep is John Moore. Puck around the boards. Brian Campbell moves it up. Reaching forward is Ryan Callahan. Rangers keep in. Brassard with a shot. They hit Pouliot. Pouliot's got it. Ben Callahan who hit the outside of the net. Pouliot again. Now Mark Stahl toward the net. That's intercepted in front and brought out by Marcel Gottsch. 3-on-2 Panthers. Good quick transition. Sean Bergenheim's pass was blocked. And it's cleared out by Pouliot.
And that turned into a 3-on-2 for Florida when Pouliot ran into one of the Florida players and Pouliot went down.
Kept in by Dominic Moore. Around the boards, and there's Taylor Pyatt on the ice. Moore, Pyatt, and Boyle the line for the Rangers. That puck knocked down. Dominic Moore plays it again. Toward the net. That went off the skate of Brian Boyle. Played by Taylor Pyatt. Kulikov, number 7, is there. Checking Moore. Moore comes out in front. Nice play by Tim Thomas with a beautiful poke check. And Brad Boy's able to work it out. Here's another 3-on-2 for the Panthers. Moving in, Scotty Upshall, save off the chest. Rebound, Upshall, another save by Lundqvist. The puck still loose at the side of the net, went behind the net. That's set up on the shot by Tom Gilbert, deflects wide. Oh, big-time pressure by the Panthers.
I don't know how Lundqvist was able to stop the one on the other side of the net after he made 2 saves. Maybe he got help.
Here's a chance in front for Huberdeau, but it was knocked away from him. put in the corner by Dominic Moore. This line is tired right now. Moore, Boyle, and Pyatt, they've been on a long time. Panthers keep the puck in. Thomas Fleischman's pass in front, cleared aside. Tom Gilbert keeps it in, back behind the net, McDonough. And that's knocked away from him, Huberdeau. Boyle knocked it away, and Fleischman takes over out to Gilbert. Cross to Campbell. Campbell shoots, blocked off of Pyatt. Pyatt is hurting.
Got him in the hand.
Out to Campbell. That's set up. Saved by Lundqvist. He wants to cover the puck, but it's played by Ryan McDonough out of the zone off the stick of Brian Campbell. So the Rangers finally get the change. And then Tim Thomas trying to fire it out to center and hit the referee with a pass. Dump in by Stepan. Stepan, Zuccarello, and Kreider on. Good forecheck pressure by Stepan on Eric Goodbranson. And Stepan takes it away. Zuccarello against Dylan Olsen. Bergenheim's pass went behind Marcel Gottsch. And Stepan back to get it. Wow, that was a frantic couple of minutes.
That's the way Florida's been playing. Hey, that's the way Horacek wants his team to play. Just go straight ahead, put a lot of pressure on the forecheck, and that was quite the shift.
Kreider sends it around to Zuccarello. He fires a redirection. Was blocked. Brad Richards coming in for that redirect. Stahl and Stralman on defense here. Mark Stahl. Nash on the left side takes the long shot. It's gloved by Thomas, and he holds it. 5:35 gone by in the first period.
Well, the pinch by McDonough, and a good job by Florida. They get through it, and now they've got some time. And Upshaw with one shot, then he gets another one. Lundqvist with that save, and then there's one on the other side as well. Lundqvist is able to get his right pad over. Upshaw, who has been a fourth liner and a healthy scratch, has blossomed under Peter Horacek. And somehow the Rangers and Lundqvist kept the puck out.
Face-off win, but the shot went wide by Justin Falk.
Right back on the ice.
Yeah. Off the corner boards, and a whistle, a penalty upcoming.
Falk he got the stick up on Upshaw, as Upshaw was trying to get to the front of the net, so Falk will take the penalty. And Florida, 30th ranked power play in the league, even though they've been getting better, will go on the power play. And just Boys just puts it there, and there you see the stick come up, and so Falk gets penalized.
Kyle Raymond and Francois Saint-Laurent are the referees tonight. Alain Vigneault looks on. Rangers penalty killing has been excellent. They've moved up to 7th in the league on the penalty kill. Aggressive penalty kill. Brian Campbell sends it across. Taken away by McDonough. Boyle and Stepan with McDonough and Girardi. The penalty killing unit. Falk for high sticking at 5:49. And the Panthers, as Joe mentioned, power play 3 for their last 19 over the last 5 games. Down at the bottom of the NHL.
Now, Sam, when you said attack, that Peter Horacek wants to attack, he's talking about the same types of things on the power play as well. Moving the puck, and that's all well and good, and getting shots, but attack the net.
Rangers able to clear all the way down. Dominic Moore aggressive on the forecheck. Moore and Callahan on with Stahl and Stralman. Upshaw dumps it into the Rangers zone. After it is Alexander Barkov, the first-round draft pick of the Florida Panthers this year. Tom Gilbert, checked by Dominic Moore. Nice intercept in front by Stralman, who clears it.
Barkov is now the #1 center on this team, and he's 18 years of age. They are now big up the middle, something that they have not been.
40 seconds to go in the Florida power play. Nice play by Zuccarello, deflecting that pass out of the zone. Zuccarello and Stepan on with McDonough and Stralman. Pressure by Brad Boyes, number 24. Takeaway by McDonough, who clears. Thomas outlets to Campbell. Brian Campbell able to play to Scotty Gomez. one-time Ranger. Spent 2 years with the Rangers after 7 years with the New Jersey Devils. Last season with San Jose. Gomez, number 23, along the boards. Coming out of the corner was Marcel Gottsch, and a good play by Girardi. Around the board, power play is over. Good penalty kill by the Rangers.
They didn't give Florida anything.
A little over 8 minutes gone by. First period, scoreless game. Nash with the outlet to Hagelin, who plays it down the boards. Picked up by Olsen. And a takeaway by Nash, trying to get in front, lost control. Fulk with a shot to save. It caught in the air, was missed by Hagelin, who was trying to bat it in. He waited for the puck to come down, otherwise it would have been a high stick.
A couple of good plays.
But then he swung and missed.
Started with Nash coming in from the corner, getting to the front of the net, and then Fulk just following up the play and getting the shot on goal.
Upshaw sends it around the boards. Lundqvist goes to get it. Good play off the boards by Brassard. Got it to Nash. Carried in by John Moore. Whistle down for an offside. 8:49 gone by, first period. And Rick Lundqvist comes out with some great play in the nets for the Rangers.
After the Panthers flurry, the Rangers come back with a couple of chances of their own. Nice job here by Callahan, keeping the play alive. And then one shot, Brassard hits his own man, and then Pouliot gets poke check and still gets the puck over to the other side. Watch the stick come out right here. And Pouliot has to reach back and set up Callahan, who just missed off the side of the net. And then Fulk coming out of the penalty box gets that shot. And Hagelin couldn't quite put the puck into the open side.
Going to have to get Carl Hagelin a little BP. Bring him into the batting cage. Puck worked out of the zone. Brassard, Pouliot, and Callahan the line for the Rangers. Brassard after it, checked by Upshaw.
I guess Florida's a pretty good place for that,
I
right?
would say so.
I don't think it's quite the weather up north.
No,
but
you'd have to do that indoors. Strowman dumps it in. Campbell back to get it. And now Kulikov works it out of the zone. Falk got a piece of it. Picked up by Jimmy Hayes. Hayes came over in that deal for Chris Versteeg.
he's a big kid.
Oh, yes, he is.
6'6".
Stepan pass was tipped. Brought back in by Sean Matthias. Spinning, turning, shooting, save by Lundqvist. With Chris Bartsch right in front of Lundqvist, trying to agitate and block the goaltender.
Yeah, that's a big line. Bartsch on one side, along with Hayes and Matthias, the big center iceman in the middle.
Tonight on MSG, the Knicks take on the LA Clippers. What a night on MSG. Hockey, then basketball. Feast of Knicks game night immediately follows the Rangers and Panthers. Knicks Clippers tonight on MSG. Rangers post game will be on MSG Plus. Following Devils hockey, big night on the MSG family of networks. Glad you're with us. Hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving and a great dinner and great time tomorrow. Glove save made by Lundqvist, who holds it.
Scott Gomez just won that faceoff. You know what's interesting, Sam, and talking to Peter Horacek, when we talked to him about who's the biggest surprise, now that you're starting to learn these players a little bit, he says Scott Gomez. He says he has been absolutely great. He says even if he sat out 7 straight games, and he said his attitude with this team and the young players, and now that he's playing, his attitude on the bench has just been spectacular.
Maybe he's growing into an elder statesman. It's his 14th year in the NHL.
Good point.
Gottsch down the boards.
But you still want to play.
Oh, no doubt.
You still want to play
right.
the game. When you sign to play, you don't want to be a healthy scratch, and he's handled it really well.
Deep into the Florida zone. Nash gets there. Negated what would have been an icing. Nash gets it back to Richards. Long shot glove by Thomas, and he holds it. A bit of a knuckleball. Thomas reached out and holds on. 9:19 to go in the first. No score.
John Giannone back in Sunrise, Florida, where remember a couple weeks ago when the Rangers played the Panthers back at the Garden, the first 10-11 minutes weren't very good. Alain Vigneault kind of handed it to his team verbally back then. Not so much this time. It's been a little bit more sedate as the Rangers try to find their legs in this game. Back in our New York studios, we've got Ron Duguay. He will be analyzing what goes on in the first period, so you can send your thoughts and your comments to him. Use the hashtag NYR on Twitter. And our first period intermission guest, guys, will be Anton Strawman, who continues to do a real good job on the Ranger defense.
Thanks, John. We'll look forward to that.
So good has Anton Strawman been. It's been tough for Michael Del Zotto to get minutes.
And Michael Del Zotto, a healthy scratch tonight. The coach saying that he wanted a little more size and bite in the lineup with Justin Falk. And overall, I don't think Alain Vigneault is pleased with Michael Del Zotto's performance thus far this season.
No. Well, he's not, or he would be in the lineup. And for Michael, with the minutes he gets, he knows he's got to be good. So, and he knows that he's got to play to his strength. With a lot of that is the offensive side of the game. So he's right on that edge of wanting to do well offensively, but sometimes he takes too many risks, and it turns out to be, a problem defensively. So he hasn't found the balance as of yet.
Brian Boyle was double-teamed by both defensemen. Good effort along the boards by Taylor Pyatt and Dominic Moore. Here's Boyle taking a hit from Goodbranson, who stays with him. Boyle able to stay with the puck, hit it to Taylor Pyatt. Pyatt checked by Dylan Olsen, and Olsen's going to take a holding penalty.
That's good work.
Good job by the Rangers line along the boards.
That's the forecheck with the big bodies. You had Boyle that did a lot of that work, and eventually, the holding penalty. Olsen doesn't like it, but this is just good forecheck work. And now, for Peter Horachek, his team will be shorthanded. Here it is here, just, again, with one hand on the stick. Sometimes it's all it takes is a little bit of contact. And there wasn't much there. And again, it was just a little bit of contact with the loose hand that causes the penalty.
Rangers' first power play. It's presented by Volkswagen. John Moore with a pass to Derek Stepan. That shot went wide. Around the board, stopped by Zuccarello. Back the other way for Stepan. Stepan, Kreider, Zuccarello, Brassard, and John Moore start the power play. Here's Kreider around to Zuccarello. Now Moore winds up. Feeds Stepan. Quick pass Zuccarello. What a deflection by Derek Brassard. It's a power play goal. And the Rangers lead 1-0.
That was the second time that they tried to set up Brassard for the deflection. The first time was right at the start of the power play when Stepan put a pass over to the other side. How about the passing, though? I mean, this is just spectacular puck movement by the Rangers. It starts with the fake shot, the fake pass, and then the pass right to the middle to Brassard. I mean, this is beautiful work by the Rangers. Stepan all the way across. Zuccarello wasted no time at all as he put it right on the stick of Brassard, who just deflected it in, and the Rangers take the lead.
Beautiful goal. And one thing we've said, and sometimes maybe doesn't get as much credit as he should, one of the best playmakers on this team is Matt Zuccarello. He sees the ice so well.
And he's an unselfish player. That's why sometimes when we all think he should shoot, he doesn't, because he's an unselfish player that is a very good playmaker.
Brassard gets his 5th of the season, a power play goal from Zuccarello and Stepan at 12:14. Carl Hagelin giving Matt Zuccarello a pat on the back. Brassard with a beautiful deflection. And the Rangers have the early lead.
When you're a team that's struggling to score 5-on-5, and you've got to take advantage of your power plays, and that's something that could have helped the other night against Tampa Bay as well. There's more pressure on your power play to perform. That was a thing of beauty right there.
Nice play by Stahl, stepping up, pinching in, and knocking the puck away from Scotty Gomez. Quick shot off the side of the net by Brassard. Brassard battling in the corner and able to take the puck. Out to Strawman. His shot blocked in front. Pouliot looking for it. It deflects wide of the net. Callahan after it, but Campbell knocked it away. Bergenheim trying to clear, and that was denied again by Stahl. Two good plays by Mark Stahl. kept play alive in the offensive zone. 6:40 to go, first period. While I have the second, Joe, I want to just acknowledge the fathers who were with the Rangers for the 2 games in Nashville and Tampa. What a great group of people to get to meet and talk to them, and just had a great time on the 2-game trip with their sons.
No, they're wonderful people and deserve to be here.
Matthias passed to Chris Bartz, who shot it wide.
This the fourth line. They're giving Florida some good minutes.
Yes. Well, you mentioned how big they are, Bill. Bartz, big and tough. Matthias in the middle. And
big,
Hayes.
Yeah, big center iceman. There's Matthias.
Here's Hayes with Kulikov, the defenseman, taking it deep against Ball. Nice move by John Moore. Got out of trouble and got the puck out of the zone. 5:45 to go in the first. Rangers have done a good job since Florida had their power play, and even prior to their power play, they have not had a shot on goal last several minutes. Outlet to Pyatt, who tips it in the Panthers zone. Olsen trying to clear. Pyatt blocked it. Here's Boyle. Boyle deflected across, swung on and missed by Moore. Well, Moore and Hagelin to the batting cage. Pyatt. Now Moore behind the net. Good pass in front, tipped away by Barkov.
Well, this line's been good for the Rangers. This is their second, back-to-back shifts with this kind of pressure.
Moore, nice move, puts it toward the net. Pyatt tried to stuff it in, denied by Thomas. Boyle looking for it. Shot by Pyatt off the side of the net. Moore up the boards to Girardi. Back down, tipped by Barkov.
Now that kind of work led them to the power play when the Rangers scored the power play goal, and that's another real good sustained pressure shift by that fourth line.
There's Huberdeau in deep, sliding across with Girardi to make a terrific play. And McDonough able to clear it out. Campbell with Brad Richards on the forecheck. Hagelin, Richards, and Nash the line for the Rangers. Gilbert sends in. And Lundqvist stops it. Gets it to Stralman. Now Mark Stahl. Tipped in by Hagelin. Thomas started to go to get it. Gilbert yelled the ball. That pass comes out of the zone, and Stahl gets there before Sean Bergenheim. Bergenheim with a good job to take it away. Put it in front, and good job with a stick by Lundqvist. Nice play by Sean Bergenheim, who had 2 goals in the game Monday night against Philadelphia.
First time he scored an NHL goal in 20 months.
Wow.
He had 2 surgeries on 3 different types of injuries. Groin, hip.
Hayes with a shot, and it's kicked away by Lundqvist. Pouliot trying to hit Callahan. Callahan's got it. Brassard goes to the net, offside against the Rangers. 3:13 to go. First period. Power play goal by that man, Derek Brassard, on a beautiful redirection. Gives the Rangers the 1-0 lead. Second goal in 5 games for Derek Brassard. And as we've said all along, that's a key man for the Rangers offensively as well.
Speaking of offense, Alain Vigneault telling us before the game about the reasoning putting Hagelin up on that line and moving Rick Nash over to the other side, just hoping that he could use some of his speed to get in there and cause some turnovers, which would benefit both Nash and Richards.
Brassard to Pouliot. Good pass, but off the stick of Girardi. Winds it deep. Brassard. Checked by Olsen. Nice move by Brassard. Girardi. McDonough's shot was deflected away by Brad Moyes. Good job of forechecking by the Rangers. Pass blocked by Olsen. And Eric Branson able to move it. Branson and Olsen have a little history as they are reunited. They played together on Canada's World Junior team a few years back. Weren't the defensive pair, but played on the same team. So They've been put together by Peter Horachek. Puck deflects out of play. 2:20 to go in this first period. Saturday afternoon on MSG, the Rangers back home to play the Vancouver Canucks, who are coached by former Ranger coach John Tortorella. Should be a heck of a game at Madison Square Garden. It all gets underway with Visa Rangers game night at 1:30 with Al Trautwig, and then the Rangers and the Canucks at 2 p.m. Saturday on MSG. Stralman battling Bjugstad. Nice job by Stahl to get it away from Bjugstad. Stepan and Bjugstad digging for it. Rangers have played well along the boards. Done a good job winning battles. Kreider, good hustle, good speed. That deflected across Zuccarello there to track it down. Stopped by Brian Campbell. Minute 40 to go. The Panthers have had only one shot on goal over the last 10 minutes of play. Fleischmann's pass tipped. Bjugstad sends it deep.
Well, they have 9 shots, and I believe on the one real good flurry that they had, Lundqvist made 4 saves.
Kulikov going back. Dominic Moore after him. Nice job by Moore. Mike Weaver to Marcel Gotch. Now Kulikov comes out. Pass to Bergenheim offside. It hit him in the skate. He went across the line before the puck did. Bergenheim doesn't believe it.
Now, getting back to those injuries that he had, he missed an awful lot of time, including the entire year last season with stomach muscle, groin, and hip. 2 surgeries to repair all those. He wasn't able to work out as hard this summer as he normally does. He's still getting into it. He's not close to being 100% yet. He thinks that's going to take the rest of this year and then a good summer. But he said the biggest adjustment he's had to make. He's got a 17-month-old son who he was able to spend a lot of time with last year when he didn't play. He said now, he said, I'm back to a full season. He says it's been difficult.
Takeaway by Rick Nash. Gives it to Girardi. That shot went up into the netting. Deflected away. 49.4 seconds remaining in this first period. Rangers have been outshot 9-6, but have played very well. Skated well, worked the boards well, and scored the power play goal.
Yeah, and Dan Girardi, even though we didn't see it on the first power play, he will be on the point on the first power play unit for the Rangers in this game. They've moved him back there with instructions from Alain Vigneault to get it and shoot it.
Gilbert. Blocked by Hagelin. Gilbert again. Out of the zone. To Scotty Upshall. Upshall dumps it in. McDonough comes over. Barkov is there, number 16. Barkov with a pass that was tipped away by McDonough. That puck deflects in front. Girardi able to find it off the boards out of the zone. And the race is on. Hagelin and Gilbert. Gilbert gets there. 15 seconds to go in this first period. Puck knocked down by Mark Stahl. He takes a hard hit. That was from Chris Bartz. And this period about to come to an end as Stahl moves it to Pouliot. And the Rangers will take a 1-0 lead to the locker room. The power play comes through, but overall, a much better first period for the Rangers. I thought they skated very well, Joe.
Yeah, well, they did. Again, the one really good shift by Florida where they put the pressure on. But other than that, to me, one of the big difference is that the Rangers' forecheck in this first period was much better than it was in Tampa Bay. Even though they had 17 shots on goal, they put sustained pressure on. They caused the penalty, which in the end turned out to be a power play goal.
Coming up, it's the Delta Intermission Report. John Gino and rejoins us. His special guest will be Anton Stralman. Back in our MSG studios in New York, Bill Pito and Ron Duguay standing by. Bill will have the Audi MSG 150 checking out the rest of the NHL. Ron Duguay with highlights and analysis. It's all coming up on the Delta Intermission Report. Rangers were shut out in Tampa Bay. The shutout string ended in this first period on a power play goal by Derek Brassard.
The New York Rangers Intermission Report is presented by Delta. Delta's new Terminal 4 at JFK is now open. Delta, keep climbing. Saturday afternoon, it's a showdown at the Garden. As Alain Vigneault leads the Rangers against his old squad from Vancouver. Rangers, Canucks. Coverage gets underway Saturday at 1:30 on MSG.
Bigger bucket.
More people are leaving BMW, Mercedes, and Lexus for Audi than ever before. The holidays won't last, and neither will the exceptional values at the Season of Audi sales event.
Check it out.
Over 20 million drivers are insured with Geico, so get a free rate quote today.
I love it. How much do you love it? Animation is hot, and I think it makes Geico's 20 million drivers message very compelling. Very compelling. This is some really strong stuff.
So you've turned me into a cartoon. Lovely.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Behold, we are in the presence of champions. Fantasy sports legends who have earned hundreds of thousands of dollars playing online. Meet Arlie Gonzalez. Average guy, superior sports knowledge. Picked a team in minutes and won enough to throw the party of a lifetime. In outer space. Former accountant Derek Bradley. DraftKings One Day Fantasy Football took him from a guy with holes in his underpants to a guy with bikini models in them.
How do we turn our love of fantasy sports into reality cash?
DraftKings.com. They have one-day games, so you're not locked in. It's like a new season every time you play. And best of all, you could win a shipload of money. Play for the largest one-day cash pools in fantasy sports. Use promo code GAME to play and get free entry into the Millionaire Grand Final. Take home $1 million and get crowned a fantasy football millionaire. Get to DraftKings.com now.
Welcome back to Sunrise, Florida. It is the Delta First Intermission Report. Rangers on a power play goal. Beautiful redirection by Derek Brassard. Lead the Florida Panthers 1-0 after 20 minutes of play. And in our studio outside the Rangers dressing room is Anton Strawman, kind enough to join us with what's been going on offensively with this team. How much of a sense of relief, a sigh of relief was there on the bench when that goal was scored?
Yeah, it was obviously very nice to get a goal there, especially from the power play. Beautiful play. You know, cross seam a couple of times and then a high tip. It was a nice goal, and obviously key to get the first goal. We haven't seen that a whole lot either, so it's nice.
So if there's a message the coaches are going to deliver when you get back in the room, what do you expect it to be based on that first?
I think it was a pretty good period. We worked hard. It was a tight period. I think we can spend a little more time offensively, making sure we get the puck deep and work their D. I think that's the weakness of their team, and we need to spend more time there.
Your game has really progressed in the last year plus that you've been getting second pair defense minutes. What parts of the game are you most working on, Anton?
Well, right now it's like everybody else, try to get the puck in. But you know, it's been working out good so far this year, and you know, I'm just trying to creep in offensive a little bit more, get a little more chances, and obviously execute a little better too.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
All right, Anton Strawman thinking about the complete game as he heads back to the Rangers dressing room. We've got more to come. Bill Pito with an Audi MSG 150, and we've got Ron Duguay's highlights as well.
We are in Sunrise, Florida, home of the Florida Panthers for New York Rangers hockey, which is presented by Chase. Getting set for the start of the second period, Rangers and Panthers. But first, it's time for the Cadillac trivia question of the night. Who are the two head coaches that served behind the bench for both the Rangers and the Panthers?
It's an easy one.
You got one. You take one, I'll take the other.
All right, I'll take Keenan.
And I'll take Roger Nielsen, the late, great Roger Nielsen. And a special honor on Monday night, they dedicated the press box here at the BB&T Center in Sunrise to the first coach they ever had for the Florida Panthers.
There's his picture.
There's the great Roger.
He had such a unbelievable influence on so many players and coaches in this league. And you talk about a dedicated hockey man. That's what he was. That's what his life was. It was hockey. He never married. No, he didn't have kids. He was just a hockey guy, and that's what he concentrated his life on.
I just remember coming down here, Joe, and watching him ride his bicycle to the practice ring.
Oh, he'd get hit by cars on his bicycle and fall on his face and get scratched up and get lost trying to find, but he was a beloved figure.
Wonderful man.
By so many people.
And you're right, he influenced so many people from junior hockey on. You'd say Peterborough, and that was where everybody emanated from.
Captain Video.
That's it.
As he was referred to.
Underway, second period. What do you look for here in the second, Joe? Glove save made by Lundqvist on that long shot.
Good saves by Lundqvist. No, I thought that the way they played in the first period, they were much more attentive to their overall game than they were against Tampa Bay. Again, they didn't have any or many loose shifts, and for the Rangers and their forecheck, when they get the puck in deep and they put that kind of pressure on it and their defense pinch in and they keep it alive, that's when they play their best hockey. And I would think that Alain Vigneault would want to continue that here in the second period.
An interesting little note there. The team that has scored the first goal in the last 15 games the Rangers have played have won the game. Rangers have won 9 of those 15. Rangers this season are 11-1 when they score the first goal in the game. Here's Jimmy Hayes putting it in the corner for Chris Barch. Overcomes Sean Mathias, number 18. Dominic Moore on him. McDonough shoved by Hayes. Girardi finds Boyle, and the Rangers get out of trouble. Zuccarello's pass stopped by Mike Weaver. Turned by Bergenheim. Rangers do a good job getting back defensively. Now Weaver, checked by Stepan. Stepan and Zuccarello assisting on the goal by Derek Brassard. Here's Sean Mathias. Marcel Gotch couldn't gain the zone. Now Bergenheim moves in with a shot, knocked away with a blocker by Lundqvist. Up into the netting, stopping play.
The thing for the Rangers that they have to remember, they're playing against a team that's young and hungry. And it's a team that when they play, they tend to get better as the game progresses. In fact, their best periods are their third period. So there's no quit in this team that's got some youngsters. And Dale Talon, the general manager, told us in between periods, he said by the end of the year we're going to be younger than what we are now. I mean, he's got some kids in the minor leagues that he likes, and he said we just need to just keep progressing, get through, this year, keep competing the way they are, and he wants his team to get younger, and he loves the new ownership group, the people from New York that purchased the team. Vinny Viola from Brooklyn, and his son is here, kind of overseeing things and staying on top of things. And
nice save by Lundqvist on the long shot by Tom Gilbert. That started with Nick Bjugstad winning the faceoff. Strawman. Hagelin trying to take it away from Gilbert. He does. Good play. Finds an open man. It's Stahl, but he just missed it. Good idea. Good work by Carl Hagelin. That pass in front and a penalty upcoming. Huberdeau would stop, and a shot went wide. They blew the horn. They thought it was an empty net goal for Nick Bjugstad, but he missed.
What a miss. This might be a penalty shot, or at least it was a consideration. This starts from the Rangers with the pressure on the other end. Here's the pass that gets away from Mark Stahl. And the other way, and here comes the chance. Huberdeau with that chance doesn't get a shot, but when he throws it in front, it looked like Bjugstad got the shot, but it was the defensive play by Anton Strawman. So Bjugstad never touched the puck, even though there was a wide open net.
Second power play for Florida in the game. 0 for 1. Did not get a shot on the first power play. Boyle trying to clear. Rangers have Girardi and McDonough with Boyle and Dominic Moore. Here's Kulikov. And a bad pass. It kind of slipped off his stick.
He's been under a lot of pressure here, Kulikov. His minutes have gone down. A former #1 pick with a tremendous amount of offensive talent, but they're Trying to get him to get his game together.
Campbell gave the puck away. Good play by Ryan Callahan. One man that Florida's missing on defense is the veteran Ed Jobanowski, who's still trying to come back from hip surgery.
He's getting close. He had that major hip surgery, but he has been practicing.
Hagelin went for slashing at 155. Here's Thomas Fleischmann coming in. Gave it away to Stepan. Clearing it, knocked down by Kulikov. Kept it in the zone. Rangers have Strawman and Stahl with Stepan and Zuccarello. Takeaway by Strawman and a clear.
Boy, what a nice play by Mark Stahl behind the net using his stick. Knocks the puck off the Florida player's stick. And Strawman able to clear.
Fleischmann moves in. Now Eric Goodbranson. Up ahead Fleischmann. Checked there by Dominic Moore. Forced a turnover. Stahl clears.
This is just great work by the Rangers penalty kill. Look at the pressure. They're just not giving Florida in any part of the ice. I mean, it's up the ice. It's neutral zone. If they do get it in the Rangers zone, the Rangers are putting pressure on. Here comes again. Girardi goes right there.
Went after Marcel Gotch in deep is Goodbranson. Puck moves around by Bergenheim to Gotch. Now to Sean Bergenheim. Has a man in front. Couldn't get it to him. And then he tripped up the Ranger defenseman, Ryan McDonough. That shot is saved by Lundqvist. Power play is over. Rangers penalty kill. 20 for the last 21. They've given up only one power play goal in the last 7 games plus tonight. And that was in Dallas. Here's Hagelin. Rangers a 1-0 lead. Girardi with a drive went off. Kulikov wide of the net. Gotch in the corner. Caught up by Hagelin. Stepan takes over. Looking for Zuccarello, who's knocked away. And brought out by Chris Barch. Justin Falk up the board. Stopped by Kulikov for a shot. Kicked away by Lundqvist. Rangers unable to clear. Falk to McDonough. And his pass went off a Florida stick but out of the zone.
It's just the Rangers can't get a little bit of momentum from that real good penalty kill.
5 minutes gone by, second period. Rangers a 1-0 lead. First period goal by Derek Brassard. Pouliot. Brian Campbell for Florida. Slides it to Sean Matthias. Nice job at the blue line by Strawman. Taken back by Jimmy Hayes. Moving in was Upshaw, and his pass tipped away. Upshaw with a hit on Pouliot. Gilbert with a takeaway from Callahan. Florida's elevated their game. In front, Barkov was hit as he tried to get a shot off. The net gets knocked off as John Moore went flying in.
The Rangers, a couple of turnovers in the neutral zone, which is something that got them in trouble in Tampa Bay. Turnover there. Florida goes the other way. Here's Boys with the pass. And Barkov with the last chance, getting some pressure from behind by John Moore. And Barkov not really able to control that. The face-off will come outside the blue line as Moore is shaken up on the play.
He's hurting, yeah. You can see it. Richards, Hagelin, and Nash on for the Rangers. The puck shot in. Lundqvist leaves it for McDonough. Florida's had the edge in play here the first 6 minutes of this second period. They've been much more aggressive on the forecheck, forced a few turnovers, and gotten chances. Long shot stopped by Lundqvist. The shot by Eric Goodbranson. Nash was stopped by Nick Bjugstad.
Well, the difference is that the Rangers had the puck in the Florida zone for most of that first period, or a good portion of it. Not quite the same here in the second.
Offside whistle. 6:10 gone by in the second. Rangers leading. We are back. The upcoming schedule is brought to you by Lexus, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Rangers. Friday afternoon on NBC and ESPN New York Radio at 1 p.m. Rangers and the Bruins. Saturday afternoon back home at Madison Square Garden. Rangers and Vancouver Canucks, 2 p.m. start. Monday night at Madison Square Garden, 7 p.m. Rangers and the Winnipeg Jets. All games preceded by Visa Rangers game night by 1/2 hour. Rangers will fly to Boston tomorrow, play Friday afternoon, head back home. We play the Vancouver Canucks Saturday afternoon. Rangers with 8 road wins this season. That's the most of any team in the Eastern Conference and tied for the most in the NHL.
And you just think that they could find a way to start scoring some goals. I mean, defensively, over their last, 18, 17, 18 games, I mean, they're in most cases, they're giving up 2 or fewer goals, and yet they're a 500 hockey team.
Good effort by Brad Richards to take it away and get into the Florida zone for the first time in a while. Hagelin in deep. Rangers have yet to get a shot on goal here in the second period. Girardi toward the net. That was knocked down by Gilbert, who moves it out. Gotch pushed it ahead. Drops it off of Bergenheim. The shot on goal sticked aside by Lundqvist. Lundqvist really sharp.
Oh, you could tell on that shot right there. Instead of just making the save, he made sure that he redirected the puck away from the net, and it was an easy clear for Hagelin.
Shots are 17-6. Icing was waved off. I think Girardi thought it was going to be an icing. And that was waved off. Brad Boyes along the boards. Girardi on him. Step on. His pass was blocked. Comes out to Boyes. And Stepan got a piece of that. Girardi to Stepan. Aggressive play on the forecheck by Florida. They have picked up their game.
Now, Florida did the same thing to Philadelphia the other night in their 3-1 win. They kept them pinned in their own end.
Big shot by Olsen. Save made by Lundqvist. Tough shot by the new Florida defenseman, racing for the puck. Kreider moves in and shoots. Save by Thomas. First shot on goal for the Rangers here in the second period at 7:52. See the Rangers at the transformed Madison Square Garden. New York Rangers 2013-14 individual game tickets are on sale now. The Blue Shirts host the Winnipeg Jets Monday, December 2nd. For great seats, be sure to visit NewYorkRangers.com. And the Winnipeg Jets, the exciting team.
They're leading the Islanders after 2 periods on Long Island tonight, 3-1.
Always enjoy seeing Evander Kane.
Yeah, he's having trouble
great
scoring
speed. Yes,
goals.
he is. You're right. Nice takeaway by Callahan. In front off of Pouliot. A save by Thomas. And then he knocked it away from an on-charging Brassard. Toward the net was Huberdeau, number 11. Jonathan Huberdeau. Checked there by Strawman. Hit the back of the net. Huberdeau again. Panthers have been real dangerous when they get set up like this in the offensive zone. Kulikov shot blocked by Pouliot up into the netting. 8.5 minutes gone by in the second period.
Now Ryan Callahan ends up stealing the puck. Good pressure from Pouliot. And there's Kulikov that's what they're trying to get him to overcome, the giveaways. And Callahan gets it to the front and just off the skate. Pouliot. Tim Thomas, he does it his own way. That's an unorthodox style. He's always used it. And he's won 2 Vezina trophies and a Stanley Cup with it.
Talking to one of the technical crew that was here Monday night in the game against Philadelphia, he said the announcers for the Flyers just kept saying, how did he make that save? How did he do that? That's Tim Thomas.
It is.
Off the boards to Karch, 4th line on for Florida. Jimmy Hayes, number 12, with the puck. Out to Goodbranson. Eric Goodbranson across to Dylan Olsen. Big drive, but he missed the net. Bangs off the glass. Goodbranson keeps it in. Justin Falk off the boards. Barch stopped it. Rangers have had only 2 shots on goal here in the second period. They've been pinned in their own zone for long stretches.
Another turnover. I mean, this is just hard, aggressive forechecking by Florida.
Bergenheim lost it. Boyle with a good play. And here's Taylor Pyatt sending it in. Thomas waits. Lets Gilbert play it. Boyle on him. Nash tried a shot that was blocked by Hayes. Just off the bench, Brad Richards. Rangers in the middle of a line change. Hagelin has come on. Nash. And Florida with a good job of keeping it out of the zone.
Yeah, the Rangers just can't get it deep into the zone. I mean, there's been a lot of this type of play where they get it to the red line and maybe near the blue line, and it just gets broken up. Florida keeps control, and they go the other way. So that real good forecheck pressure that we saw from the Rangers in the first period hasn't happened here in the second period.
It's been Florida with that real good forecheck pressure. Past the midway point, second period. 9:50 to go. Shots are 10-2 in favor of Florida here in the second. But the Rangers still lead 1-0. On the first period power play goal by Derek Brassard.
Well, then what ends up happening is you spend that time in your own zone. By the time you do get it in deep, you've got to make a change.
Barkov with a sharp angle shot, a save by Lundqvist. Another shot went high off the glass.
Lundqvist didn't see it. Didn't see that quick shot by Barkov. Didn't know where it was.
He just stayed by the post in case it was in his equipment.
Yeah. It actually deflected to the point man, and then the shot went over the net.
Boys checked along the boards by McDonough. Rangers clear it out. Here come the Panthers again. Huberdeau beaten to it by Girardi. Gets it around to McDonough. Try to reverse it. McDonough has it again. Real tough pressure. Aggressive forecheck by Florida. McDonough fires it out. It'll be an icing. Rangers need a breather here.
They won't get one.
8:50 to go in this second period.
Yeah, they're not going to get one with this icing. And there's Peter Horacek and his counterpart across the way, Alain Vigneault. And Vigneault's got to be looking at this period and go, what's happened to our forecheck? The shots are 20-8. And there's been a sustained pressure in the Ranger zone and a real inability to get out of their end.
What can you do to change the momentum here, Joe?
Well, what's happening, a lot of this happens because you're playing in the neutral zone. Between the two blue lines, they're not getting it done.
Puck picked up by Zuccarello. Skates to the red line, pushes it ahead. Now they get it in the zone. Here comes Zuccarello, but his pass was blocked. He had an open man and step on, but the pass was stopped.
And then Bukestad slid and put the puck out to center ice.
Brassard to Kreider, saved by Thomas. And the Rangers using the cross-ice pass, getting a man open. Thomas stopped Chris Kreider.
This has been a second period of relentless forechecking by Florida. Here's Sean Mathias. Look at how they stop, and when the puck goes the other way, they don't wait. They just keep skating, they keep stopping and starting and getting things going, and then they just continue to pressure. Look at how they sprint in, and they don't give the Rangers any time at all. McDonough on one side feels the pressure. Then Girardi gets it. He feels the pressure from Bukestad, who goes from one side to the other. And this has been a clinic in forechecking by Florida here in period number 2, and that's why I say when you get it in between the blue lines in that neutral zone, get the puck in deep so you can try and do some of that on your own.
Peter Horacek has been the coach for less than 3 weeks. This is only his 3rd home game, and the previous 2 were wins over Anaheim and Philadelphia.
They've beaten some good teams.
Yes, they have. They beat Vancouver in Vancouver. Pass by Callahan is blocked.
They won in Colorado, which not many teams have beaten that team anywhere this year.
Brassard recovers. Now Strawman, long pass for Callahan. Just under 8 minutes to go, second period. Rangers with only 3 shots on goal here in the second, but they lead 1-0. All the way down it goes. This is icing on Florida. So now the puck deep in the Florida zone. We'll see if the Rangers can tilt the ice the other way. Saturday on MSG. Join Al Trotwig, Dave Maloney, Ken Danico, and E.J. Raddick for an in-depth look into the Rangers, plus a trip around the NHL. It's all on Hockey Night Live, presented by Lenox Hill Hospital, Saturday night at 9:30 on MSG Network. Richards, Nash, and Hagelin on for the Rangers. John Moore trying to keep it in, did. If the Panthers take it back, Gomez gets it ahead for Marcel Gottsch. His shot deflected by Justin Falk. Gottsch has it back. Now Tom Gilbert. Off the end boards. Nice play by Lundqvist.
Florida has done a good job against Brad Richards. He has not had the puck much in this game.
Hagelin gets it out, knocked down by Brian Campbell. Offside Florida with 7:17 to go here in the second period.
Now that man right there, too, Scotty Upshaw. Has he ever been given new life? I mean, he has more points this year, which is 11, than he's had in his previous 2 seasons total. And Scotty Upshaw, his first year as a pro, he played in Milwaukee in the American Hockey League, and his coach was Peter Horacek. And so now they're reunited. He's been a healthy scratch. He's been a fourth-line player here, and he has given him an opportunity. He's on the top line now and playing very well.
Face-offs prior to that last one, 11-1 in this period in favor of Florida. Think they've owned the puck a little bit?
Well, that's a problem, too. Not getting the puck in deep and then losing face-offs.
Mathias put it behind the Rangers net. Girardi tried to move it. It was blocked. Nice play by Boyle. Rangers have been very responsible, very good in their own zone defensively. That's really helped them out. Here's Boyle behind the net. Kulikov. A barge along the boards was stopped. Boyle moves it behind the Florida net. Mike Weaver's got it. And sent the other way by McDonough. Weaver has it back. 6:20 to go. Now the Rangers set up in the neutral zone. Panthers get through. Panthers changing. McDonough back for the puck. Quick outlet to Chris Kreider. Cross ice for Zuccarello. Try to swing it toward the net. Stepan comes over off the skate of Goodbranson. And here come the Panthers. Thomas Fleischmann. Back up the boards for Stahl. He's tied up by Fleischmann. Bukestad against Stepan. And Stallman. Try to move it up ahead. It was blocked, and he gets it out of the zone. 5:45 to go in the second. Rangers a 1-0 lead. Stallman takes over. Stepan's pass behind Kreider. Huberdeau. Ridden to the boards by Stepan. Good play by Derek Stepan. Stallman to Stahl. And Kreider fires it around the boards. Tim Thomas hasn't had much work in this game. 9 shots on goal. Only 3 here in the second. Marcel Gotch moves in. Justin Falk is there. Nice play by Falk as he forced him to the boards. Good hit by Bergenheim on John Moore. Gilbert missed the puck. Gotch chips it ahead. Sent the other way by Moore. Gotch. Scotty Gomez finds Marcel Gotch. Gilbert looking. Rangers not giving the Panthers much room to make plays. Gomez trying to get it to Bergenheim. And a good job by Brassard. Rangers get out with a puck. Callahan plays it down the boards. Brassard after it against Brian Campbell.
And that's a play that I was talking about, Sam. You spend all that time in your zone, you finally get it in, you got to make a change. So there's only one forechecker and an easy out for Florida.
Rangers were offside. 4:12 to go in the second. It's still 1-0 Rangers. Introducing the lounges at the newly transformed Madison Square Garden. A spectacular new group seating and hospitality experience on the new bridge level. Visit NewYorkRangers.com or call 212-465-6080. You'll enjoy it. It's a great place to watch action at Madison Square Garden. Right here in Florida, 4th game of a 5-game road trip for the Rangers. Rangers 2-1 thus far and leading here despite the fact that Florida has dominated this second period.
Yeah, Henrik Lundqvist has been sharp in this game. The shot's 20-9 thus far in the game. And Florida's just had the puck more, and the play has been in the Rangers zone for most of the period.
Off the icing call, Barkov and Richards for the face-off. Richards, Hagelin, and Nash for the Rangers. Nash hustles to the puck. Gets it to Girardi. Quick shot deflected into the corner. Hagelin after it with Gilbert. Brian Campbell moves it up the boards and is chipped out. 2-on-1 developing. Brad Boyes moves in. Nice play. Ryan McDonough with a beautiful takeaway. Ryan McDonough going all the way, coast to coast. Plays it to Nash. Nash goes to the net. Couldn't get a shot off as it was knocked off his stick. Hagelin. What a defensive play by Ryan McDonough. Here's Brad Boyes moving in again. That's a shot that went off of McDonough to the net, and a glove saved by Lundqvist.
Well, the Rangers' system is to have their defensemen pinching on the boards, always. And so there's Girardi. Now, the forward coming back is supposed to come out to the neutral zone. That would have been Hagelin, but he took more of a direct angle towards the boards. That allowed the 2-on-1, and then McDonough was just a fantastic play. His stick work, his skating ability, his positioning, he is just some kind of hockey player.
Doesn't get much better.
No.
Perfect timing on that play. Yes. Face-off win by Dominic Moore.
12 points on the season as well, so his offense is there.
He's in the top 20. Ooh, Thomas had trouble with it, but he dives on top as Dominic Moore was racing in.
That short hopped him. Look at the smile on his face. He smiles all the time. And Peter Horachek said today, he said, you know what, I like it. I like his attitude. He said, I hear things, before I got here, but I like it. And there he's playing a lot of games at age 39. He's always smiling. He always seems to be in a good mood. We know he's got his own ideas about things. And
he skates over to the referee, and they watch the replay together, and he tells him what he did there.
Short hopped him, and that's what he struggled with.
Strawman shot, and Thomas forced his way out past Chris Kreider to glove that puck.
Now again, he has his own style. It's a style of goaltending that you cannot teach anyone. If you had a young kid and you say, this is how I want you to play, he'd look at you like you were nuts.
Benoit Allaire, the Rangers goaltending coach, is in the booth next to us. I can only imagine him scratching his head.
Right. How's he do this?
All the way back, and icing is whistled in New Jersey. The Devils are trailing Carolina 4-1. What's important in that game is our good friend and colleague Chuck Caton, the longtime broadcaster for the Carolina Hurricanes, the Hartford Whalers. Before that,
long time broadcaster.
He is broadcasting his 3,000th game. Congratulations to a member of the Hockey Hall of Fame, Chuck Caton.
He's a good man, Chucky.
Stahl chipping it ahead. Bukestad clears it out for Thomas Fleischmann. Strawman is there. Good pass across. Goodbranson's pass deflected and goes off the netting, and play stops with 2:50 to go here in the second period. New York Rangers hockey is brought to you in part by Lenox Hill Hospital, the official hospital of the New York Rangers.
So the Rangers have been able to settle things down a little bit after that. But the first 10 or 12 minutes, Florida came out with all kinds of pressure. Its game is settled in a little bit.
Gomez won that draw. Good job by Stepan to stay with him. Here's a lead for Zuccarello. Racing it against Bergenheim. Pulls up. Winds it behind the net. Olsen played it away from Dan Girardi. There was an example of the Rangers defenseman going deep. Here's Girardi to McDonough. Looking, wrist shot just wide. He's looking for a deflection by Zuccarello in front. Around the boards. Chipped off the glass by Marcel Gottsch. 2:15 to go in the second. Girardi for Zuccarello. Tipped it in from the red line. Thomas out to play it. Here's Olsen. And it's cleared out. Brassard back for it. Derek Brassard's power play goal in the first period, the only goal of the game. Lundqvist leaves it for Mark Stahl. Slid it through, stopped by Mike Weaver. Then it was blocked by Pouliot. Couldn't get it out of the zone. Stahl trying. He's double teamed. Pouliot able to get it out. Callahan to Brassard. Brassard against Kulikov. Played toward the net, gloved by Thomas. He holds it. A minute 32 to go in the second period. Very little offense from the Rangers in this period.
Yeah, and for Benoit Pouliot, he was, Alain Vigneault was asked a question prior to the game regarding Pouliot's play, and And he said, I'm going to keep playing him. Now he said, I'm giving him a chance. This is his chance. And it's up to him to find his game. He's with his size and his ability to skate and handle the puck, he just feels like he should be scoring more goals, and he hasn't been able to do it.
The coach called it the crossroads of his career, not only with the Rangers, but in the NHL.
10? I mean, he's still a fairly young guy.
But he's moved around the last 5 years.
He sure has.
Puck knocked down by Brad Richards.
And he's a likable person.
Yes, he is.
That's not the issue.
Richards to the net. He scores! Brad Richards. Kind of an innocent shot. Maybe he was looking for a tip in front, but it went through. Tim Thomas, 2-0 Rangers.
Well, Brad Richards hasn't had the puck much in this game. And Bukestad has it, tries to throw it in. Richards gets it, and now he'll just wait for somebody to go to the net, and it's Hagelin. And it just looked like it might have been just a screen by the Florida defenseman, and it was right through the legs of Campbell. And Tim Thomas seemed like he just picked it up late, or maybe didn't pick it up at all until it was past him. And that's what will happen sometimes when you just throw it at the net and get some players going there.
Brad Richards had gone 7 games without a goal. He'd gone 5 games without a point. And he picks up a big one.
Now, Brad Richards was saying the other day, he was just talking about if you just get the puck to the net, and Nash in particular, and he's talking about Callahan as well, but Hagelin kind of fits that as well. If you just get the puck to the net and then let those players get there, some good things can happen. And so Nash was going there, Hagelin was going there, and Richard just threw the puck at the net. I don't think expecting to score a goal, but maybe to just create something. And he ends up giving the Rangers a 2-0 lead here with less than a minute to go in the second.
So here's another case where a team gets totally outplayed. Rangers were outplayed for the majority of this period, and they're about to come out with an added lead. It'll be a 2-goal lead.
We've seen a lot of that, to tell you the truth. There's been a lot with the Rangers, with other teams where, your goaltender gets good.
And Thomas has to make a save on a good play by Benoit Pouliot. 28.7 seconds remaining. The Richards goal, his 7th, is unassisted at 18:53.
He did it all, made the defensive play in his own zone, and then was able to carry the puck in, delayed just enough time so his wingers could get to the front of the net, and Tim Thomas screened partially on the play. And I go back to the Dallas game where Lundqvist made 23 saves in that first period, and you think, boy, that could have been 4 or 5-0. Now, it hasn't been the same type of performance by him, but he's been solid.
Yeah, not too bad, though. 12 saves here in the second period, 21 for the game. And the Rangers have a 2-0 lead in the final seconds of this second period. And now they're spending some time in the Florida zone. Brian Campbell. That's knocked down by Stepan. Good play. And the second period comes to an end. And despite a great effort by the Florida Panthers, the Rangers come away with an added goal. Excellent performance tonight by Henrik Lundqvist, and Brad Richards picks up a goal. Rangers lead 2-0, end of 2.
I think what they did a good job of was just hanging in there because the play was in their zone. Lundqvist didn't have to be great, even though he made some saves. And they faced pressure after pressure, and they were able to just hang in there until they got better towards the end of the period, and that's a huge goal by Richards.
Coming up, it's the New York Lottery Intermission Report. John Giannone Reed joins us. His special guest, Derek Brassard, who scored the goal in the first period. We've got highlights from around the league on the Audi MSG 150 with Bill Pito back in the MSG studios. Ron Duguay with highlights and analysis in the studio as well. It's all coming up on the New York Lottery Intermission Report. Henrik Lundqvist has done a great job keeping the Panthers off the board. That puck, that shot by Brad Richards found a way in.
The New York Rangers Intermission Report is presented by the New York Lottery. Hey, you never know. Saturday afternoon. It's a showdown at the Garden as Alain Vigneault leads the Rangers against his old squad from Vancouver. Rangers, Canucks. Coverage gets underway Saturday at 1:30 on MSG.
We're gonna need a bigger bucket.
More people are leaving BMW, Mercedes, and Lexus for Audi than ever before. The holidays won't last, and neither will the exceptional values at the Season of Audi sales event.
666, 6666. Remember 6. Going to the airport. Remember 6. Riding around town. Call Carmel. Shopping or moving. Remember 6. The best ride in town. So wherever you want to go. Carmel is a number to know. Ride Carmel and be on time. Worldwide and nationwide. 666, 66666. Remember 6.
A visit to this rainforest will change your entire trip around, and you'll never want to leave.
A TripAdvisor Traveler Review, narrated by Puerto Rican star Rosalyn Sanchez. Watch it at seapuertorico.com. Live your own 5-star vacation story. Come to Puerto Rico, the all-star island.
People have been using wind power for sailboats since the beginning of time. Wind can be converted to electricity with windmills, and it's clean and renewable. There are people and companies working to make wind power available to everyone. All we have to do is get behind them. Can one solution to energy woes be blowing in the wind? The possibilities are endless.
Welcome back to the New York Lottery's second intermission report from Sunrise, Florida. A little bit of the intermission entertainment as the Rangers lead the Panthers 2-0. And joining us outside the Rangers dressing room is Derek Brassard, who skated a little better than that when he scored the first goal tonight. A lot of that period was played inside your own zone, yet you come out with an extra goal and a 2-goal advantage. Do you feel fortunate?
I think we're pretty lucky to be up by 2. I think it wasn't a really good period for us, but you can't win every period and every shift. So obviously we expected a big push from the Panthers, and I think Richard's goal was a big goal for us.
All right, take us back to the first period in what was a gorgeous setup for a power play goal. From your perspective, how did this one go?
Yesterday in practice, we're trying to focus on the middle there where I was, and just step on the last on the play before the goal. Try to hit it on my back end, and we try on the phone, and it works. So
it's pretty awesome when you draw it up and it works exactly according to plan. All right, so now when you look to the third period, you said it wasn't a very good period for you guys. What do you need to do better?
We just need to simplify everything. Make sure that the puck goes behind them. I think we had a really good first period, and that's what we did. For 20 minutes, and it's not going to be any different in third. They're gonna come out pretty hard, and for us, it's just a matter of managing the puck the right way and make sure we win our battles.
Thanks, Derek.
Thank you.
All right, pucks behind the Panthers is going to be the key to the third as Derek Brassard heads back to the dressing room. We will head to New York in a moment. Bill Pito has highlights. Ron Duguay has analysis when we come back.
We are back to New York Rangers hockey, getting set for the third period. Rangers and Florida Panthers. New York Rangers hockey is presented by Chase. How about the play of the goaltender tonight?
He's been good. He's been very good. Henrik Lundqvist. In particular, that first period, this was a flurry by the Panthers' top line. Lundqvist made 4 saves. But he's been so attentive with where the puck goes after. He's not only making the save, but he makes sure he puts it in areas that keep it away from the net. And then if he has to make a second save, he's been in real good position. And so the Rangers with the lead going into the third.
Look at that statistic. This dates back to the 2009-2010 season when the Rangers lead after 2 periods. It's been 100 consecutive games in which they've come away with at least a point. 94 of those 100 have been wins. Wow.
That is quite the stat, isn't it? I mean, this is talking about knowing how to protect the lead, and it always helps to have a Vezina Trophy candidate or someone that's won it back there to help out.
The Rangers this season, when taking a lead into the third period, are 8-0. Rangers open the third period with Brassard, Pouliot, and Callahan, Stahl, and Strawman. Mark Stahl plays it into the corner. Brad Boyes after him. Nice play by Strawman on Barkov with a good hit. Boyes with a long shot, knocked away with a blocker by Lundqvist off the glass. And Strawman controls again, aggressive forecheck. 3 men deep for Florida. There's a hit by Brad Boyes. Panthers just following up what they did in the second period. Pinching in was Dylan Olsen, the defenseman. The Rangers having trouble getting out of the zone, but it's whistled out for a hand pass against the Florida Panthers.
Yeah, it's a real good start. Good first shift by this Florida team. The Rangers just couldn't clear it out. And actually, Strawman did a pretty good job because he had the puck. He looked, didn't find anybody, turned back the other way, and it's just a very aggressive style for Florida. And again, that's Peter Horachek, their new coach. Go, go, go. Play north-south. Don't back up, ever.
Kreider, Zuccarello, and Stepan on for the Rangers. Played by Dmitry Kulikov. Kreider trying to find it. And Kulikov has to go back to get it.
Yeah, the other thing is that when we think about that statistic with the Rangers leading going into the third period, the Rangers won't change their style here if they can. I mean, if they get a chance to forecheck and those defense pinch, they'll play that way.
Stepan after the puck. It was blocked. Gomez looking for it. McDonough, nice play. Found the open man. It was Chris Kreider. And the Rangers able to get it out of the zone.
Well, he'll continue to see plenty of ice time. McDonough played almost 19 minutes through 2 periods. Same with Girardi, not quite 19 minutes for him.
Good defensive play. And the puck was picked up. Florida moving in. Bukestad with a shot saved by Lundqvist.
Hit the
Tough
stick.
Shot.
Knocked the stick out of his hand. That's how hard the shot was by Bukestad. Again, this was a giveaway in the turnover by Richards in the neutral zone. And Florida comes back 3-on-2 the other way with Nick Bukestad. Here comes a little drop pass, and boy, just let that thing go. Knocks the stick right out of the hand of Lundqvist, who then didn't know where the puck was, but it went off the netting, and therefore the whistle. Face off to the left of Lundqvist.
Dominic Moore and Nick Bukestad. Rangers control. Right back into the Rangers zone. Strawman there to play it.
Florida's won 62% of the faceoffs coming into this period.
Tim Thomas moves it into the corner. Campbell up ahead to Jonathan Huberdeau. On the boards. Fleischman against John Moore. That deflects out of play. Downstairs. John Giannone standing by after a conversation with associate coach Scott Arniel. John?
Yeah, Sammy, and what he mentioned was what Joe just brought up is the face-off issue. He said it's not only the centerman losing the draws, the wingers and the defense also need to get involved in those 50-50 pucks. So that was a focus, and he also said too many giveaways from their own dots out to the blue line allowed the Panthers to have much too much zone time. He said the Rangers need to take advantage of the fact that this third period, both defensemen are going to pinch a lot on Florida, and the Rangers need to take advantage and leave the zone as 5.
Dominic Moore, the only Ranger centerman with a winning record through 2 periods on faceoff. Chance in front, and a good save. Barkov didn't get much on the shot. Lundqvist able to make the save.
No, and he's frustrated, Barkov. What a chance he had as that puck took kind of a funny bounce behind the net. Off a skate, right in front. Puck was in Barkov's defense. It looked like it was on edge, and so he didn't get much on the shot. But this is a team that plays better in the third periods than they do in the first two periods. They're young, they're aggressive, they don't give up, and so they're gonna come hard. The Rangers are gonna have to play a good third period in order to come away with a win.
Good job by Kreider getting out to the defenseman to block that shot after the Panthers controlled another faceoff.
Now, what John was talking about, and what Scott Arniel was talking about, you don't see many center icemen in the league win faceoffs cleanly. It just doesn't happen very often. So the importance of the two wings and even a defenseman that gets close to jump in there and help out on those loose pucks is really important in getting puck control.
Stepan won the faceoff. It's lifted out by Girardi. Brian Campbell back. A little over 3 minutes gone by in the third. This is an icing on Florida. And the faceoff deep in the Panthers zone. Saturday afternoon on MSG. Rangers back home to take on the Vancouver Canucks. The return of John Tortorella with his new team led by the Sedin twins. Live coverage gets underway with Visa Rangers game night with Al Trautwig at 1:30. Rangers and Vancouver Canucks Saturday afternoon on MSG. That'll be fun.
Yeah, Florida has scored exactly half their goals this season in the third period.
Here's Callahan controlling against Dmitry Kulikov. Callahan with hit, double team. Puck fired, blocked by Callahan. Off the skate, and the Panthers able to clear out. John Moore sends it right back in. Kulikov out of the zone, recovered by Pouliot. Back to Mark Stahl. Campbell. Brian Campbell's third season with the Florida Panthers. Started his career with the Buffalo Sabres. And was a big part of Chicago winning the Stanley Cup in 2010.
And then they had to...
Shot by Gomez goes wide.
They had to move 10 regulars.
Shot by Gilbert, a save. Rebound, another save on Bergenheim. Lundqvist again ready for the rebounds that are coming at him. That shot deflected out of play. 4:13 gone by here in the third.
Yeah, real good aggressive play by Florida and Henrik Lundqvist. That's Tom Gilbert, who scored his first goal recently. He jumps in. He's a defenseman. And so Lundqvist makes the first save and the good second save as well.
Strong game for Henrik Lundqvist. He's faced 25 shots. And he has been in excellent position. Good bounce back effort by Henrik Lundqvist. Bjugstad on the face-off against Dominic Moore. Won it. The shot by Goodbranson got through. Another hard shot and a good save by Lundqvist. That shot went wide, goes off the glass, and comes out of the zone. This pair of Goodbranson and Olsen, they are big kids who can shoot the puck. They have got big, hard shots. There's Goodbranson, winds up, and that's blocked by Brian Boyle. Oh, man. And he goes off on one leg to the bench.
And so we played just a little over 4 minutes, and again, most of the play has been in the Ranger zone, maybe all of the play.
Strallman able to clear it out, and Nash sends it deep. After it is Gilbert. Richards checks him. It was knocked away by Hagelin. Richards tried to get it to Nash, and the Panthers broke it up.
Yeah, good play by Campbell in front.
Upshaw plays it deep. And after it is Barkov, he's tied up with Girardi. McDonough trying to take it away. Upshaw's pass given away to Hagelin. 3-man breakout. It's 3-on-3 as the Panthers get back. Nash finds the puck. That's what the big man can do. He found the loose puck and ripped it past Tim Thomas. 3-0 Rangers.
Well, Upshaw had the puck, 19 right there, and gives it away. And now he comes back, though, to make it a 3-on-3. It'll be a loose puck here that is just found by Nash. So there were 2 giveaways on the play by Florida. The first one in the offensive zone by Upshaw. The second one by Gilbert in his own end, who put it right back onto the stick of Nash. And there you see Hagelin going hard to the net, and Nash with that great wrist shot just inside the post to make it 3-0.
Second goal of the season for Rick Nash, and the Rangers with a 3-0 lead. And it has to be so disheartening for the Panthers, who worked so hard keeping the puck in the Rangers zone, and the Rangers get one chance and it's in the net.
Well, it just, again, turnovers can be a real problem.
Yeah.
And they had 2 of them there, one in the offensive zone, one in the defensive zone. And so you turn the puck over to the wrong player and you might have a problem, which they did.
Brassard looked like he got clipped with a stick. He did. And the Rangers will get a power play. Rick Nash has scored a 5-on-5 goal for the Rangers. They lead 3-0, and they go on the power play when we come back.
Rick Nash has given the New York Rangers a 3-0 lead. Turnover by Upshaw there. 77 in the middle of your screen. Watch him come over to make the play and just throws it right through his own legs. Right onto the stick of Rick Nash, who beats Thomas for the goal.
John Moore winds up with a shot stick save by Thomas. The puck fired out all the way down. Rangers' second power play of the game. This power play presented by Volkswagen, as Gomez called for high sticking at 6:06. Rangers scoring the first power play. John Moore is trying to go coast to coast, and his shot is blocked. The Nash goal, his second of the season, unassisted at 5:32. Brassard to step on, down to Zuccarello. Kreider set up in front. Zuccarello looking, long pass for John Moore. Kreider bangs it off the board. Zuccarello down to play it. And it's cleared out by Fleischmann.
Now you heard Brassard telling John Giannone in between periods about working on that play in practice where they're trying to get to the front of the ice, the front of the net, and looking for those deflections like the one he scored earlier in the game in the first period.
Here's that other power play unit. Richards, Nash, and Callahan up front. Girardi and McDonough at the points. Thomas plays it to Goodbranson, who drives it all the way down. 40 seconds to go in the Rangers power play. 7.5 minutes gone by, third period. Rangers leading 3-0. That pass intended for Nash, deflected away by Goodbranson and out of play. 31 seconds to go in the power play. 2 goals in the last 4 games for Rick Nash. You see his career numbers against the Florida Panthers.
Doesn't matter what kind of player you are when you miss 17 games, and especially a lot of that time you're just taking it easy. You're not doing anything. You're not working out. You're certainly not skating. And so at the time you get back, and the players, you know, they want to get back and play as soon as they can. Takes a little time to get their entire game back together.
Rangers set up. Time winding down in the power play. 18 seconds to go around to Richards. Nash comes over into the right corner. Nash has the puck. Back to Richards. On goal, off of Thomas, picked up by Nash. Sets up McDonough. Big drive, save, rebound, save. And Campbell plays it off the glass. And Thomas with a couple of saves. And that will do it. Power play is over. Shot by Upshaw, deflects to the corner. 8:15 gone by in the third. Rangers 1 for 2 on the power play in the game. Lead 3-0. They've been outshot 27-17. Nice play by McDonough. As he clears it out. Boyle and Dominic Moore on. And joined by Taylor Pyatt. Pyatt returning to the lineup when Derek Dorsett was unable to go tonight with a sore wrist. Thomas Fleischmann through a screen. The save made by Lundqvist with big Nick Bjugstad in front.
Bjugstad is difficult to move at 6'6". And that shot comes through. And again, Lundqvist, his focus has been so good in this game. And really a good job by Girardi. just keeping Bukestad enough to the side so that Lundqvist could see the shot from the point.
Good numbers on the time clock. 11-11 remaining in this third period. Rangers control. Good face-off win by Dominic Moore. He's done a good job here in the third period. Out for Boyle, who was behind him. Now Campbell. Rangers will play here in Florida one more time. And that'll be on New Year's Eve. It'll be a late afternoon game, a 5 p.m. start. And that'll be it for the season series with the Panthers. But New Year's Eve's a good time to be down in Florida.
Why not? 5 o'clock game. Rangers will have a few days off and then go to Pittsburgh.
Good play by Stepan. The Rangers able to come out with a puck. Lead for Kreider. Kreider moves in on Kulikov. Saved by Thomas. 10:21 remaining in the third period. Game recap is brought to you by Tri-Honda dealers. Derek Brassard with his second goal in the last 5 games, a power play goal. Rangers on the penalty kill, 20 for their last 21. 2 for 2 tonight. And Brad Richards with a team-high 7th goal. That was in the second period. Rick Nash scored here in the third. Rangers trying to find the puck. Callahan did, but his shot was tipped away. Pouliot pulled down by Kulikov. Brassard through the light for Pouliot, knocked away. And Brad Boyes plays it out. Justin Falk is there. Falk getting a chance to play his previous couple of games when he was inserted in the lineup. He played well. Delzato a healthy scratch, sitting out this game. With Branson, Brian Campbell spinning. Picked up by John Moore. Campbell stays with it, gets it to Barkov. Barkov to Boyes, off the skate, and intercepted in front by Pouliot, who clears it out.
Good job by the Rangers. All 5 players converged on their own net. And they were able to find the loose puck as it came to the front and clear it.
Now forecheck pressure from Nash and Hagelin. Huberdeau mishandled the puck and Nash sends it in. Then Thomas moves it. Puck all the way down. No icing. Stahl looks around. Huberdeau is there. Stahl and Strawman have developed into a real good defensive pair, Joe.
Yeah, I agree with you. Strawman has been steady all season long. Mark Stahl, I think, has gotten better as the season has progressed.
Here's Huberdeau moving in against Strawman, who stopped him, and Hagelin clears it out. 8:40 to go in the third. Rangers with a 3-0 lead. Rangers farm team, the Wolfpack, winning tonight over Portland in the American League, 4-1. JT Miller with a goal and the #1 star of the game.
Good for him. He needs to play.
That's great news. Dominic Moore. Danny Cristo scored a goal. Brandon McIntyre scored a goal. Ryan Bourque scored a goal for the Rangers. And Stu Bickel was the #2 star. Marcel Gush, big drive off the chest. Good save by Lundqvist.
There's that 5-man attack by Florida, carrying the puck over the blue line and trying to get everybody involved in the offense. Another good save by Lundqvist.
7:40 to go here in the third. John Moore chipping it to Zuccarello. He gave it away to Boyes in front. Off the giveaway. Upshaw scores. And the Rangers lead is cut to 3-1.
Well, they keep playing that high-pressure game. Moore gets back there. Zuccarello has it. That's just a poor play by Zuccarello, throwing it right to the middle of the ice. He bangs his stick on the net, but that's just a poor play when you're trying to protect a lead. And Scotty Upshaw, who's hockey career seems to be rejuvenated since the coaching change. Scores it, and there you see his numbers. He's been very good for this team as of late.
Still 7:25 to go. And let's see how the Rangers handle this. The Panthers turn the puck over. And Falk recovers. Lead to Callahan. That's knocked away. Huberdeau with a quick pass went through Fleischman. And Pouliot is tied up by Bukestad and Fleischman. Help from Callahan, and the puck into the Florida zone. Under 7 minutes to go in the third period. Lead to Bergenheim. Cuts in and shoots high. Oh, nice move by Sean Bergenheim. Bouncing puck kicked ahead by Marcel Gotch to keep it in the zone.
Well,
and Richards gets it out.
You can see how they just don't stop. That 3-0 lead did not deter them. They just keep coming at you.
Stahl to Nash. Nash puts it in the Panther zone. Upshaw with his fifth from Boyes at 12:28. Stallman waited for Richards to clear the zone. Dumped it in. Gotch has it. Back into the Florida zone. Panthers fans coming alive. There are a lot of Rangers fans in attendance here. Off the corner boards. Nice play by McDonough and cleared out by Dominic Moore. Under 6 minutes to go in the third. And the Rangers leading 3-1. Interception by Girardi. Rangers with a big game Friday afternoon against the Boston Bruins in Boston at 1 p.m. on NBC and ESPN New York Radio. And we'll be back with you Saturday afternoon at home against the Vancouver Canucks on the air at 1:30 with Visa Rangers Game Night with Al Troutwig hosting the Rangers and the Vancouver Canucks. Puck deflects out of play. 5:10 to go in the third period. The Lundqvist shutout was snapped on the goal by Scotty Upshaw. Turning point of the game is brought to you by Lexus, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Rangers.
Well, first period, no score. 1 save, 2 saves, 3 saves, 4 saves, 5 saves by Henrik Lundqvist. There it is again. 1, another one. Another one, another one, another one.
Need a calculator.
Oh, my gosh. What a display of goaltending on that sequence. And that kept the game tied. And then the Rangers, shortly after that, went on to score a power play goal.
Campbell moves it. Under 5 minutes to go in the third. Rangers with a 3-1 lead. Brassard, Callahan, and Pouliot on for the Rangers. Time ticking down. That's in the Rangers' favor. They do a good job along the boards and send it in. Here's Brian Campbell for Florida. Try to play it to open ice. Thomas Fleischman picks it up. Back outside. Long shot. Save made by Lundqvist on a hard shot by Upshaw. Upshaw playing with a lot of confidence. Centered for Upshaw and a good defensive play by Carl Hagelin. Along the boards. Swept out by Brad Richards. Bukestad. Now Campbell spinning on Hagelin, who stayed with him. Strawman looks around. McDonough to Hagelin. Right on him was Bukestad. Forced a turnover. Richards off the glass and out for Hagelin. But he skated past the puck. He left it behind him. Back the other way, Bukestad. Trying to beat McDonough. Backhander. He scores. Oh, what a play by Nick Bukestad. And the Rangers lead is cut to 3-2.
Now, Nick Bukestad came back hard on Hagelin on the other side of the red line. It looks like Hagelin overskated it. There he goes. Good steal. Now he misplaced the puck right here. You'll see he misplays it, but it just ends up going. It stays in front of him. And from a bad angle, he's able to slide it in on Lundqvist. Boy, almost from the goal line, right underneath the right pad. And Nick Bukestad with the beautiful steal in the neutral zone. And that goal from a bad angle gets underneath the pad of Henrik Lundqvist. You don't see many of those against him. And here comes Florida again. Now they're within a goal with still 3:43 to play.
Everything has changed. Florida, instead of being disheartened and going down after the Nash goal, they've played even harder.
No, that's their makeup.
Here's Callahan. Rangers 3-goal lead cut to 1. Goodbranson against Moore. Boyle takes it. And the puck is out of play, put out of play in the netting by Brian Boyle. Face off out of the zone. 3:19 to go. Time now for our Timberland Pro hard hits of the game. Joe?
Well, this Florida team is getting to be bigger and bigger all the time. We talked about the size up the middle. They've also get it on defense. And Brad Boys with a good hit. And there's Nick Bukestad, who missed all the training camp with a concussion.
His third goal of the season, unassisted at 16-17. He had not scored a game since Peter Horachek's first game in Ottawa. He had gone 8 games without a goal. Kreider, good pass out to McDonough. Back the other way, off the boards for Zuccarello. Shoot save by Thomas. Zuccarello tried to keep it in, sends it back in. Under 3 minutes to go in regulation time. Rangers a 1-goal lead. Here come the Panthers. Kulikov to Goodbranson. Intercepted. Good play by Callahan. Moves it. Kulikov fell down. Callahan in deep. And he shot it wide. He was hooked on the play.
Penalty. Rangers will get a power play out of this. Now, first a turnover on the anticipation by Callahan. And then the next problem for Florida was Kulikov, the defenseman, fell down. And that allowed Callahan some room and time. There he steals the puck. And now you'll see Kulikov, number 7. He goes down. And there's the hook by Barkov, the youngster, coming back on the play. And boy, oh boy, the head coach goes, oh, we had some momentum going here. We came back. They could feel it coming. And now the Rangers got a chance to seal this thing on the power play.
Third power play of the game for the Rangers. 1 for 2. With 5 shots on the power play. They scored on the first one. The puck goes out of play. Stopping play with 2:33 remaining in the third. After the game, we invite you to tune to MSG Plus, because that's where we'll have Mercedes-Benz Rangers postgame with the Knicks on MSG Network. We'll be over with postgame reaction. John Giannone as the player of the game. We'll have analysis from the studio with Ron Duguay and analysis here with Dave Maloney and Joe Micheletti. That's on MSG Plus, Mercedes-Benz Rangers postgame. And we welcome you. All the fans have been watching on MSG Plus, watching the Devils and the Carolina Hurricanes. Sam Rosen, Joe Micheletti, John Giannone here in Sunrise, Florida. 2 minutes remaining, third period. The Rangers leading the Florida Panthers 3-2. Rangers were up 3-0 in this third period. Florida coming back with 2 goals. Scotty Upshall and Nick Bukestad. Rangers getting a goal in each period. Derek Brassard, Brad Richards, and Rick Nash. And the Rangers are on a power play here.
And they put Brian Campbell out on the ice here because they've been good on the faceoff to see if he can't get a chance.
Zuccarello picks it up. Rangers are 1 for 2 on the power play in the game. That power play goal scored by Derek Brassard in the first period. Zuccarello heading up ice. A minute 45 to go. Regulation time. Rangers with a 1-goal lead. There's the lead to Kreider. Back outside to Stralman. Now John Moore winds up. Big shot was blocked. Kreider battling in front against Brian Campbell. Another shot wide. Kreider missed the rebound. That one's put in by Matt Zuccarello. Matt Zuccarello It's a power play goal, and the Rangers lead 4-2.
I'll tell you, what a job in front by Chris Kreider. He was distracting Tim Thomas. Tim Thomas was pushing, trying to get him out of the way. And Kreider with his size. Here's Kreider again. Watch him in front of the net. There's Tim Thomas. A little bump there as Thomas is aggressive. And here again, Thomas tries to push him out of the way. And as that puck came hard off the backboards, Thomas unable to get back into position quickly enough. Just goes off the skate of Kreider. And Zuccarello with the backhand scores. Huge goal for the Rangers to make it 4-2.
And what redemption for Matt Zuccarello. It was his giveaway that led to the first Florida goal. And got momentum going for the Panthers. Right. So the power play goal, the Florida net is empty. Tim Thomas goes to the bench. They've got 6 skaters on. Rangers with a 4-2 lead. And coming down to a minute remaining in regulation time. Most goals the Rangers have scored in the game in the last 8. And scoring 2 power play goals. After going the last couple of games without scoring on the power play. McDonough fires it out. Tom Gilbert back for it. Brassard on him. 35 seconds to go. This will ensure a winning record on this road trip and give the Rangers. Here's an empty net chance for Hagelin. And he puts it home. Carl Hagelin ices it. With 23.1 to go, it's 5-2 Rangers.
Give McDonough a lot of the credit. He goes back quickly to get the puck, and he turns and puts himself in the position to look at everything, and then just flip the puck over everybody so that Hagelin could skate into it and put it into the empty net.
Zuccarello got his 3rd of the season at 18:42. A power play goal from Kreider and John Moore. Hagelin gets the empty net goal. And the Rangers, after being shut out in Tampa by the Tampa Bay Lightning on Monday night, bounced back with a 5-2 win over the Florida Panthers. They've won 3 out of 4 on this road trip.
Well, Florida came out in the 3rd period, storming the Rangers. They scored 2 to make the game close, but the Rangers come back, and that power play, which has been so important, comes up with a huge goal really to seal the win.
Tonight's goal of the game is brought to you by Verizon Wireless.
Now you go back to this 3rd period, and giveaway by Florida in their own zone. Odd man rush, and then 77 right here. Tom Gilbert tries to clear, goes right through his legs, and he puts it on the stick of Rick Nash, who ends up scoring the game winner. Nash finds it, and there's the wrist shot just inside the post to beat Tim Thomas.
Never be without hockey. Download NHL Game Center Premium today. Now the stars of the game brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. Visit on the web and search Mercedes.com. Henrik Lundqvist, just brilliant. 31 saves, gets his 8th win. Matt Zuccarello comes up with a power play goal and an assist in the game. 2 shots on goal. Our Mercedes stars of the game. Stay tuned on MSG Network for Knicks Game Night. And for those of you watching Rangers hockey on MSG Plus, we will have Mercedes-Benz Rangers postgame. The Rangers beat the Florida Panthers 5-2. Next game Friday afternoon in Boston at 1 p.m. on NBC and ESPN New York Radio. Stay tuned on MSG Network. It's New York Knicks Game Night.